sponsors of Dave's Tackle Box.
Hello, good evening, welcome to Dave's Tackle Box. It's Sunday the 23rd of June 2013. Good, innit? Let's do a camera change because I can. There we go, I was closer. Right, on tonight's show we've got a right mixed bag tonight. First of all, I'm going to introduce you to the newest member of the Vapor Trails TV team. He's my mystery guest. You can probably just about see him hiding behind my pint glass, sort of there. Yeah, but like, you know, hopefully not in high enough res that you can tell who it is because it's supposed to be a mystery. And I'm also going to be taking a look at a new toy that arrived in the post the other day. It's called the ROK Legend. And we're going to be having an in-depth look at that, and I believe actually Kat has got one as well, so she's going to be joining us a little bit later, and we're going to swap some notes on that and see what's going on. At some point during the evening I'm going to bitch about my EVOD because it's become incontinent, and then we're probably going to talk about the NEES up as well, because there's like 6 days left. There's like, what, 6 sleeps I think. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Yeah, 6 sleeps, and then it's the knees up. But let's get this show on the road. And I've done that just like one too many times tonight, forgot to hit the button. I'm going to need a pair of headphones soon if I keep doing that. So look, there's my mystery guest. But a little bit earlier, I decided to knock together just a little sort of introduction. We haven't got a lot of footage of him yet, but here's a little look at what we do have.
Hi guys, I'm Dave and I'm the newest member of the Vapor Trails team. Yes, another Dave on the team. It can be really confusing. My wife bought me a gold Vamo for Christmas, which was my first mod. It was like a light bulb above the head moment, you know, bing. Me and tanks just don't get on, they leak everywhere. My favourite setup is the Sigeli Z-Max or Z-Max with an IGO-L on top. It was a stealth buy, and if she sees it she'll probably kill me. And I'm enjoying it. Juices, I will try anything. I'm not a custard fan either. I don't like it whatsoever. So I'll catch you later.
Oh, press the wrong button. Press the wrong button. Every time. That was supposed to be your grand entrance to VTTV. You should have gone on somebody's show who knows what they're doing, frankly.
Brilliantly handled.
Smooth that. You know, work hard and you can be as proficient as me. You know. Dave Malik, yes. Obviously, Dave is joining us. In the short term, you're going to be contributing to probably a couple of the shows, I would think. But in the long term, who knows? Who knows? The main reason you're obviously on the team now is because you're called Dave. Because, yeah, I saw, like, you know, there's people commenting on this like it might be some kind of issue or something. Personally, I just find it less names to remember. I think it's a very positive thing. So there's a few sort of ideas. Dave D is number 1. Since when? Bugger that. How can you say that? Dave D's number 1. Dave K's number 2. You're number 3, apparently. So, but
That'll do me.
I thought, you know, a show called 3D could be good. Anyway, or Dave TV, but apparently that's been done. Dave Lee Roth did that, didn't he? Yeah. But anyway, Dave, you haven't got a word in yet. Say hello to the VTTV viewers.
Hello, everyone.
That's right.
Nice to be here.
If you're nice to them, they're generally nice back. Not always, but generally.
I hope so.
I know you're suffering with a bit of sort of nerves there.
Yeah, just a bit.
Which is as it should be, really, you know. Don't worry, whatever goes wrong on this show, I get the blame for. So you can just relax.
I'll stick to my wine then, shall I?
That's a good move, good move. One. I've got me beer myself as usual. But, yeah, we got a new fridge, which means I got the old one as a beer fridge.
Very good.
How's that, eh? Yeah, that works well for me. Anyway, so Dave, you're coming to join VTTV, and you basically you sort of, we found each other, I think, through the SWAF campaign thing. You did a sort of my vaping story thing. That was certainly the first time I saw your videos.
Yeah.
And well, I'll ask you the hard question first. Just coming to VTTV, why?
Well, because I've been watching these shows now for about 6 months, so I've not been watching them for long.
Right.
But I enjoy them, and for me, vaping now, it's not so much an alternative to smoking, it's a hobby as well. Mm-hmm. And I find the shows to be fun and informative, and I thought there's, you know, maybe I could bring something to the team, and I'm happy to be aboard now.
Well, I have to say, as well as the stuff that you've got on your YouTube channel, I've also seen some sort of, they're not really sort of screen tests, are they? But some sample videos that you've done and sent along for us to pick over. In fact, it was those things that I blended together in that little trailer. And, you know, I've no doubt that you've got something to add to the team. Now, you're from Wolverhampton, I believe?
I am, yes.
Although you don't like to admit that, yeah. It's Purton, did you say the place was?
Purton, yes. Yeah. It's in South Staffordshire, actually.
Right. You see, because I live near Burton, which is also in Staffordshire. But, you know, we're kind of just off the opposite ends of the county, aren't we?
Yeah, that's right.
And you're in the process of moving house?
I am. Yeah, it's actually literally just down the road, but it's been an absolute nightmare.
It generally is. You're moving house to the extent that if I'd have been an hour later asking you to come on the show tonight, you would have already packed the webcam.
That's right, yeah. It was very close, I tell you.
I'm just sort of monitoring chat as it goes past. Old Dave, Ickle Dave and New Dave. Hang on a minute, we don't know how tall New Dave is. How tall are you?
Not very.
Good, see? So you could be wrong, very boring. And no, we don't need more Andys. We definitely don't need more Andys. Pretty soon we'll have things streamlined. When Gary changes his name by deed poll, we'll all be Dave or Mark. And then slowly, you know, we'll introduce more Daves. That's the plan. So, sorry, yes. So you say you've been watching VTTV for a while, but you've been involved in some kind of online community stuff for a little while, I believe. Tell me about, was it Vapers Unite?
Yeah, Vapers Unite on Facebook. They've got a page there, and that's really where I learnt about everything other than cigalikes, because that's where I started with a cigalike. Right. And I wasn't really enjoying it, and then I found out from this page about other stuff. And then I did research and kept on going with it and found the different flavours and everything like that, and that's how it kind of that's how it became a hobby to me.
Yeah, like I say, I'm sure that there's a lot of people watching this who will relate to that exactly. It's exactly the route I took. I bought Cigalike, thought maybe this could be a little bit better. Found an internet forum, and that was that really. So how long is it since you bought your first e-cig?
Well, it is coming up to nearly a year now.
Right.
It was just after my youngest daughter was born, and she will be 1 on Thursday. So it was a couple of days after that.
I have to ask, was that the driving factor?
It wasn't the only factor, but it was the main thing. It was kind of stumbled upon the e-cig. My wife was flicking through one of her magazines, and it's the one time I can say I'm glad she read it, because she saw this advert. I took up the offer and I got started, and that's where my journey began. It wasn't my daughter being born wasn't a driving factor, but it was a very big factor in it.
Yeah, I understand. I mean, I've often said the same myself. My kids are adults now, but I bought mine out of pure curiosity, basically. I wasn't thinking of giving up. But once I got the thing in my hand and started considering the possibilities, then all of a sudden the kids and what have you did become a factor. Yeah. I can relate to that, definitely. So can you say which brand of Cigalike it was you bought?
Yeah, it was the E-Lite.
Same here. Same as me. Me.
I didn't enjoy it at first, but I did find that it helped me to cut down on the cigarettes initially.
Right.
It wasn't until I found other stuff that I realised that I could use it more often.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah.
So I've got to say it did help at first, but it's not something I think I could go back to. But that's another issue, because it's a challenge that I'm going to set myself at some point, where maybe I could use an E-Lite for a day and just see how I get on with it.
Yeah, because that's going to be a theme of the stuff you're going to be doing for VTTV, I understand.
That's right.
And we haven't had a chance to talk a great deal about this, but Kat gave me a good briefing, and we had a chat earlier, obviously. But you're going to be setting yourself these little challenges. I saw one where you were using a mini Ego battery for a period of time and stuff like that.
Yes, and I still am.
Yeah, so
still going strong.
That one's in progress. I like that idea. Because I've often set out to do that, and the fact of the matter is I haven't got the time or the patience, and it's mostly the patience. You know? so the slightest irritation where you have to show a bit of willpower, or maybe make an effort to accommodate whatever it is you're testing. I just reach for the silver bullet or the eVic or something and bail out. So I'm useless like that. But I mean that sounds great. Now, as I was editing that footage earlier, obviously from that minute or whatever it was in the trailer, that started off as probably a total of about 15 or 20 minutes. And so, and in there, I remember a comment saying that you got your first mod was a Vamo.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. Christmas present from the missus, was it?
That's right. It was actually a golden Vamo, and it came with a Genesis style atomizer and a dripper as well.
Right.
And it was something, because I've got so into vaping, my wife wanted me to try this out, because I've been talking about it quite a bit. And it's from that I got into dripping rather than using a tank. So that's my preferred setup now, is using a dripper.
Okay.
But the Vamo doesn't get used anymore.
Which one do you favour at the moment?
Which one? What, sorry?
Which dripper? I'm
using the iGo L at the moment.
Okay. Yeah.
That's my preferred one, and I've now got a Sigelei Z-Max. That's that's the mod that I prefer to use at the moment. But I'm always on the lookout for different things, as we all are.
Indeed. And I believe I've got a Sigelei telescope thing coming in the near future, which Kat didn't get on with.
Oh, right.
Oh, no, it's not a Sigelei. No, it's a lie. We were talking about this earlier. It's not a Sigelei. It's an Inikin, the telescopic thing that looks really weird. So Kat didn't think it. I think she thought it was ugly, basically, and therefore thought it would appeal to me. So I don't know what to read into that, really. But I've got a new dripper here, which was sent to me by Daz at Safer Cigs. This is the AGI, I think. I think it's called the AGI or something. So it's a UD one, and it's kind of like, I don't know whether you'll be able to see, you've got a bit of delay before it comes back down, but I can hold it to that camera, and you can see it's like Ego, diameter.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I put a really sort of quick wick on it when I got it, which is a couple of weeks ago now. I'm supposed to be giving Daz some feedback on it. It's another one he's trialling, and it kind of worked okay, but to be honest, the wick was a bit ham-fisted, and I haven't really got around to putting a decent one on it yet. It's got like a tank in the bottom, so you can actually fill it. And it kind of,
that looks quite nice.
Yeah, it looks great, and I have to say, like, you know, it was working sort of okay, but the wick is a bit of a dog's breakfast on this. I need to sort it out before I can really give it an honest appraisal. But I'm more into tanks than drippers and that myself. I'm still using this is the AGI, isn't it? The Genesis thing. What was it that does sent me then? I can't remember. I'll find out before I report on it properly.
Was that the one that can also be a dripper as well as a tank?
This is the one that can be a dripper and a tank.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the AGI, isn't it? And then the one I think he sent me might be called the... I can't remember. It's a UD thing. I don't know. It could be called an IGO F, maybe. Something like that. I don't know. I don't know. So I wish I hadn't brought it up now because I can't remember what it's called. I've got the box. The reason I'm looking around is I'm looking for the box, and I can't see it. So I'll have to dig that out. So okay, that's cool. What's your next mod?
I don't know. I'm torn between quite a few at the moment. See, my preferred setup, as I said, was the Z-Max with the IGO L dripper, but I've also got a handmade mod called the Pele pipe, which, in my opinion, can't be beaten.
Right.
But so that's just a mechanical
That was
mod.
the stealth buy, was it?
Sorry?
Was that the stealth buy?
That was the stealth buy, yes.
Right, okay.
Yeah,
So,
she's now found out about it, and I'm still alive.
Because of my trailer.
Yeah.
Sorry about
Cheers.
that. Sorry about that, but I couldn't leave that out, could I? I mean, that... Excellent. Okay, so that's brilliant. Now, we do live quite close to each other, so we need to... will you be at Vape Fest?
Yes.
Right, so we'll make sure we bump into each other there then. Because you can't make this weekend because you're moving house.
That's right.
Can't you, like, just ignore that for a bit?
No. Something could be cut off, Dave.
Yeah, I kind of know how that works, I think. Yeah. Well, look, I have to say, it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you. Didn't that time fly?
God, it's flown by. Is that the time already?
It is. It's approaching first ad break time, and I told you, they don't eat you. They might if they could get near you, but it's all through the internet, so you're safe as houses. And you did great, and I hope you enjoyed it anyway. And maybe if you're around and you're settled in, or whatever state of your move you're at, then maybe we can drag you back in a week or two's time as well, and say hello.
Yep, that would be great. And I want to say again, hello to everyone, and it's a pleasure to be part of the team.
There you go. And just before, I'll just embarrass you with some feedback. So nice one, Dave. Nice one, Dave. Welcome. DM, they're calling you.
Makes sense.
And yeah, lots of nice welcome messages there in chat. You get to go and put your feet up now and watch the end of the show and enjoy it. And I'll see you again soon. Thanks very much for joining me. Thanks a lot, Dave.
Thanks very much. See
Cheers.
you soon.
We'll take a break.
Cloud9 Vaping, sponsors of Dave's Tap Box. sponsors of Dave's Tackle Box.
And welcome back. So that's Dave Malik. What a nice guy, huh? He's a Midlander, so he's got to be nice, isn't he? It's by definition. You're going to be seeing quite a lot of Dave and Dave's work in the coming months and years, hopefully on VTTV. Thanks very much for all the guys in chat, giving him a nice welcome there. And like I say, really nice guy. Aren't we all? Right, now, in my hand here, I have a thing called the ROK Legend, which needs a top up actually, so I should probably top it up while I'm playing this VT. This is a sort of ego type with a clearomizer thingy sort of stuff. I've said all this in the VT, so I'll run the VT and then you'll know lots about it too. Hi, I'm Dave. In this little video I'm going to be taking a look at the ROK Legend. There's one there. I got sent a starter kit from rockuniversal.co.uk. If you look on the website at the moment, they're selling this for what they call it an introductory price of $49.99 for the starter kit. It's essentially an Ego style battery with a clearomizer or cartomizer and a lid. But let's have a closer look, see what you get in the kit, and see what we think. So in the box, which as you can see is a very nice box, you get an instruction leaflet, which in the accompanying letter that I was sent claims it is a plain English instruction leaflet. And it is actually. It's very easy to follow. If you've not used one of these types of e-cigs before, you'll be perfectly equipped to go after reading that. I'm going to leave that there because there's some little bits that I'll refer to. In the kit you essentially get two whole e-cigs. There's two batteries. This one's a 650 milliamp hour battery and this one is a 900 milliamp hour battery, which as you can see is bigger. Battery goes to about there. You can see where the buttons are aligned. That one lasts about half as long again as that one. I'm just going to use the one that I've got open for now. You get a USB charger, which is fairly sort of recognisable to anybody who's used an Ego. Plug that into your USB power outlet. I use a powered USB hub rather than plug it into my computer. I can get a few plugged in at the same time that way. And you screw the battery onto this end to charge it. Whilst it's charging, the light on here will go red, and this will flash initially, and then when everything's gone green it's fully charged. But I've got some more to show you on that coloured LED in a moment. You get this carrying pouch thing, which I've got to admit is not me. Apart from anything else, it's huge. I mean, look, I can't get it on camera. There, see? It's got this really long, I guess it's a neck strap, because I don't think anybody has wrists that size. And yeah, maybe you're into that kind of thing. Personally, I think mine will be staying in the box, but it does appear that they seem to be obligatory in e-cig starter kits these days. I actually think that that is perfectly pocketable. But let's have a look. So if I take this one that I've been using this for just about 3 days now, and it's a testament to it, I think, that I've not actually reached for anything else. I did screw on a Joy Ego battery at one point, because this one ran out on me and I only had Ego batteries with me, and it worked just fine. But I have to admit, it does look a lot sleeker with the ROK battery on it. It's got one of these sort of flush buttons that you press to fire it, and you can see it's green. at the moment. Now there's a colour code here. When it's green, that means there's more than 55% charge in the battery. If that green LED turns amber, should I say, then that means there's between 25 and 55% charge. And if it's red, it means there's below 25% charge, and it's time to think about recharging it with the USB charger that I showed you previously. Other observations that I've got on the overall look of it is it has the branding on the battery, which is, it's not too bad. I've definitely seen worse. I'm not one of these people who likes labels all over and everything. There's also the CE, the European kite mark there, and a little wheelie bin with a cross through it saying don't chuck it in the bin once you've finished with it, and dispose of it properly. There's a little bit that says text here which you might be able to make out. It says over 18s. I'm reading it backwards on the camera preview at the moment, which I can't do. It says use at your own risk. I'm not sure if that's all necessary on the actual battery. I'm sure they haven't done it for aesthetics. There's probably a reasoning behind that. They probably think that it's the over 18s message is important, maybe in this current political climate. Who knows? The clearomizer itself, and I'll detach in a minute and have a proper look, but the first thing I'll observe is there's two gradients on it. It's a 2.4 milliliter capacity if you fill it up to the top gradient there. That's 1.2 milliliters. Quite an amusing note in the accompanying letter I got that was saying, why do you need more than that? Like on some clearomizers, it's not a medical device, contrary to what the MHRA might want you to believe. I actually find that quite useful, because I don't use these clearomizers too often, but when I do, I invariably overfill them, because I'm lazy and I always think if I put more in I won't have to fill it too often, and then sometimes I end up with like gurgling and a bit of leakiness and stuff. I've been filling this one, and I think it's on about its fourth fill since I got it. I think I did the fourth fill not too long ago. As you can see, it's still half full, and it hasn't leaked on me at all. I've been carrying it around in my pocket yesterday. I went to the cinema, and it's been great actually. It just hasn't leaked a drop. So let's have a closer look at that cartomizer. First of all, you get what they're calling, and I'll just make sure I get my terminology right here. Where did I see it? It's an easy click lid, they're calling it. Now, I'll show you, because I had a bit of a dilemma on this. There are two like little plastic bits there you can see sticking out, and then around the top of the mouthpiece, just at the base of the actual mouthpiece, there are two little inserts. Yeah, I think you can just about see them. So I'm not sure if the idea is that you're supposed to, this is what I have been doing because I haven't wanted to break the plastic bits, but it looks as though you're supposed to line up the plastic bits with those little cutouts and turn it to lock it. So which is not difficult or anything, it's not hard to do, but it's not really a click, because if you push down on that, I've got a feeling you'll break off those little plastic bits and then the lid won't stay on. So the way I've been doing it is just to put that on there, turn it until it goes home, and then give it a little twist, and that's on good and solid. And that should avoid, if you do carry it in your pocket as I tend to do, should avoid putting any strain on these plastic bits here, and hopefully preserve the life of your cartomizer. If I take the tip out, you can see that it is mostly plastic. There's a little O-ring on there, but it's actually got a metal thread, which I thought was quite good, because a lot of the clearomizers that I've seen up to date have got these plastic threads, and I've never really trusted them to be too solid, but this has actually got a steel thread on it. I should point out that the whole thing is stainless steel. That is mentioned in the covering letter. Obviously it's an Ego star fitting. I've been using it on an Ego battery last night while I was out and about, and it was absolutely fine, although I will say that on an Ego battery it was a slightly tighter draw, so there must be something about the airflow on their own batteries. There must be something fairly subtle going on there. It worked fine, you just had to tug a little bit harder to get anything out of it. Not a problem, but worthy of note. So assembled, I think it looks the part. Shame about some of the lettering and stuff on it, you know. I think it, personally, just a personal point of view, would probably be enhanced with a bit less of that stuff. But at least it's not over the top using bright colours and stuff like that, you know. And once it's in your hand, you can't see that stuff anyway, so it's not going to stop me using it. I think, you know, I've been using the EVOD setup for travelling on this job in Switzerland, and I think this might usurp it. And if you're watching this live on Dave's Tackle Box, you'll get some more insight as to why. But that's the assembled unit. It's quite long, but it's still pocketable just about. Certainly in my bag, that'll be fine. And I'm hopeful that it won't leak on the plane, but I'll find out in due course. So looking at the battery, it has the sort of click on and off arrangement. On this particular one, you've got 3 clicks to turn the power off so it doesn't fire in your pocket, and 3 clicks to turn it back on again. So you simply just 1, 2, 3, and you'll see it flashes a couple of times, and now that's now not lighting up at all, so it can't fire accidentally in your pocket. When you turn it back on again, you get a bit of a light show. 3 clicks and you see that it went red, amber, green. Those are the colours that you'll see that show the charge state of the battery. Remember, if you press it and you get a red halo, then you're below 25%. Amber is 25 to 55% charge, and green means it's fine for a while yet. The other thing that we want to look at is how easy it is to fill. So obviously with the cap off, if you unscrew the mouthpiece and just set that to one side, it's actually got a good size opening, and you need to get the juice down the side of the container. It's actually pretty easy to do compared to a lot of clear misers. Some of them taper and what have you. This one's like pretty sort of straight walled all the way down, and you've got a good wide opening there. If you use a bottle with a filling cap, something like this, and you literally just squeeze the juice in until you get to the top black line, and that's full. It's done. Screw the mouthpiece on, onto the battery, and that's good to go. So here it is. Now the first fill that I put in this, which was the day before yesterday, I think it was. Yeah, that's right. I filled it, I tried it, and I'd been using a well broken in EVOD cartomizer and a Genesis atomizer just before, specifically this one. I put the same juice in this and I vaped it, and I thought, oh dear, there's no flavour. But I persevered with it and it's improved. So on the second fill, I can taste it a lot better. Probably there's a bit of adjustment on your taste buds as well. Now, I haven't used anything else pretty much all weekend, and now I'm finding that the flavour's absolutely fine. So there's probably an element of breaking in and an element of your taste buds getting used to the new device, I guess. But as you can see, it produces vapour pretty well. There's no issues there, is there? As I said before, the flavour is definitely, it's perfectly acceptable. I would say that it's in the same sort of ballpark as the EVOD thing that I've been using. So, and I was quite a fan of that. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this on my travels with me to Switzerland this week, see how it fares on the aircraft pressurised cabin test. Like I say, if you're watching this live on Dave's Tackle Box, this is being recorded on the 23rd of June, so it'll be the 23rd June episode of DTB, then you'll understand why I'm so keen to give this a try. But until then, I'll report back with what I find, but until then, my thoughts on this are pretty good, actually. You know, like I say, I've used it a couple of days. It's good. I like it. I think they've come up with a decent product here. So That's all I've got to say really on this. So thanks for watching. And I'm back, and this time I'm on the right camera. I can tell. It's quite difficult. Yeah, okay, I was talking to the wrong camera. Alright, okay. Let me show you. I got a camera there, and there's a little one hiding underneath, see, on top of that wooden box thing? So that's one camera. And there's another. And there's another. And then there's this one. I mean, let's be clear. It's a miracle I get the right one ever. It's too complicated. See, because you press these buttons here, look, right, you see? Right, flick between the cameras. Right, one, and then back again. Yeah. I mean, it doesn't tell you. You can't see which one you're going to get. Camera 1. Camera 3. So, but you can rip it out of me all you like. I don't care. It doesn't dissuade me. Right. Yes, that's what I need. I don't need a vision switcher. I need staff. That's what I need. One day, Kat will be able to control all this remotely from up north. Then it'll be good. We're going to take our second break now. And then I'm going to tell you about my mishap with the EVOD. And we'll be joined by Kat. See you in a bit.
Cloud9 Vaping, sponsors of Dave's Tackle Box.
iVapor and iVapor Elixir, based in Yorkshire, for your e-cig needs. That's ivapor.co.uk and ivapor-elixir.co.uk. iVapor and ivapor-elixir.co.uk, proud sponsors of vaportrails.tv.
Cloud9 Vaping, sponsors of Dave's Tackle Box.
And yes! I got it right. It's you and me on screen. Yes, get in. That's it. Let's end the show now. On a high. Kat, how you doing?
I'm doing very well. Not as well as you by the sound of it, but I'm not doing too bad.
Oh dear. Well, there you go.
Thoroughly enjoyable. Thoroughly enjoying it.
Yeah, I'm tempted to disconnect you and then do it again just to prove it wasn't a fluke. Oh dear, what a night. What a night. In my defence, right, like I flew back on Friday night. I just wasn't able to even log on to the internet during yesterday. So I woke up this morning and thought, show. So, you know, you might disagree, you might think this is rubbish, but I consider it a major achievement.
Ain't rubbish. These are the best shows. These are the best. I'm sure Chat will agree with me.
Chat. Jeff Benyon's asking, is that Dave number 4?
No, it's Davina, darling. Davina.
And very boring says yay and not Dave on the show. Brilliant. Anyway, okay, let me tell you my woes about the EVOD. Now, you've got a ROK Legend there, which you haven't actually taken out the box yet, have you?
And no, I haven't.
But
I've got an EVOD on here on my much repaired EVIC. So
Right.
I'm curious to hear this story.
Right, well, I don't know. I think I mentioned briefly that I bought some low resistance heads for the EVOD because it's been serving me really well, the EVOD. But I noticed I flew back on Friday, and I got back to the hotel. I've been working really late, like sort of past midnight all this week. I got back to the hotel and I topped up my EVOD. Because what I do is I take it off the EVOD battery. Although one of my batteries is packed up now, it filled up with juice somehow. I think while it was on the plane, and it frazzled and died. So I actually went back to Daz at Safe Cigs and I bought a couple of 650 milliamp hour Joy Ego batteries. Because I'll be honest with you, I prefer the buttons on the Egos anyway. They're raised. Mm-hmm. And I will mention that when we come to look at the Legend in a minute, because they have the sort of rounded, sort of flush fitting buttons as well, but they're better than on the EVOD, I think. But so what I do is I've been taking it off the Ego battery and putting it onto an MVP and just upping the voltage a bit for the evenings. And I filled it up just before I went to bed. And I woke up in the morning and it was virtually empty. And I sort of scratched my head. And there was a little bit of juice leaked out, but cartonisers do that, you know. There didn't seem to be a lot. And I thought, okay, that's fair enough. So I topped it up again in the morning, went to work. And I tend to use the this thing, the Ellipse, the Avali Ellipse, because it's stealthy while I'm at work, right? And then I was just about to leave to catch my train to the airport on Friday. And the EVOD was empty again, and it had leaked juice into my bag, so I gave everything a tight and filled it up again because I was in a rush on the train. And then when I got to Birmingham Airport on Friday night, my bag was full of juice and it had emptied itself again. So I thought, oh, that's odd. But I got it home, and I got it under these studio lights actually, because my eyesight isn't what it was. I got my glasses on, I had a close look, and now I've noticed it's cracked all around the mouthpiece. And it's just been emptying itself basically. So I reckon, and I'll do this on camera because it'll amuse everybody, but I reckon that'll snap if I just do that now. Oh, not quite, but it's close. Yeah, there it goes. I can feel it cracking now. So that's a dead EVOD. So I do have another one because there were two in the kit, and I've used this one from new. So I'm going to set that back up and put the low resistance heads in it that I bought, because I bought them now and I might as well. But I got back on Friday night and thought, oh, that's buggered, and then opened my post and the Legend thing was in there. So I thought the timing couldn't really be better. So I mean, you haven't opened the box, you say, on yours?
I've opened it. I've slid it along simply to get the battery out and charge the battery.
Right, okay. I found mine was pretty well fully charged actually. Because did you figure out the light thing?
Well, I saw it making pretty colours.
Yeah. If it's green, it means it's more than 55% charged. If it's amber, you got 25 to 55, and if it's red, you need to put it on the charger.
All right.
So
one thing I did notice: instructions.
Indeed, and quite well written ones.
Well, I haven't investigated them, but then I'm well known for not reading instructions till something goes wrong.
Okay,
anyway.
let me rephrase that. I imagine they would be well written had I read them. No, I did. I quickly scoured through them, but I didn't read them all because, well, I'm a bloke, you know. So
I will have a look at them though. I promise I will, for a change. But I haven't done anything else with it other than that. I must admit, that lanyard which I've seen you look at before,
yeah,
I didn't pull it out, but I ran my finger across it. Is that Napa leather?
It feels like leather, doesn't it? I've got mine here.
It feels like really good leather, that.
It might well be. I've got the little leaflet that they sent along with it for the review notes. It calls it leatherette on here, so...
Right, it just feels really good.
It does. It's just like you could get a cricket bat in it. Look at it.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Quite impressed with that.
I don't know.
It's hanging over your shoulder.
I did read Jeff Benion's comment that it could be used as a thong. could be quite painful, but then again, you know.
My imagination has just took over. I'm sorry.
But I have to say, when I've been to vape meets and stuff, you do see people using those, and I guess the idea with this one is it's a sort of over-shoulder thing, because it's a bit long for just putting around your neck, probably. But if you like that kind of thing, it looks decent quality, doesn't it? But it's not my kind of thing. That's the basic issue I've got with it. But
I shall cut this.
Yeah, you'll find it a doddle to fill. And mine actually needs a fill, so whilst you're doing that, I'll do the same. But I'd be interested. I'd be interested to see your thoughts on the button.
I can find it.
Sorry?
I can find it by touch.
Exactly, and that is the issue that I had with the EVOD one. It didn't stop me using it. It didn't stop me using the EVOD battery, but I did find that it's kind of, you'd just be pressing the side of it and you'd have to turn it around in your hand until eventually you heard it sizzle. But this one is a lot easier to find. It's bigger, basically. I haven't got an EVOD battery to hand, I don't think. Oh, I would do. Maybe I can get those up on the screen. It is... It's, if I go to this camera here, you can see that it is quite a lot. And I know I'm on the screen twice, but if I turn this the right way, you can see that the button is... This is the EVOD and this is the ROK, and you can see that it's a lot bigger and easier to find.
Mm-hmm.
So... And it makes it kind of nice. Still not a great fan of all the print on it. I don't know what you think. I saw some discussion as the VT was playing. It's not engraved. It is like that sort of screen printed stuff. I forget what they call it now.
It'll come off.
I remember when I ran the kids' football team, like they used to do trophies like that because it was cheaper than engraving.
I mean, I rather the ROK bit at the front. I don't mind that at all. CE numbers and disposal emblem there, icon, I suppose is quite good. Shouldn't complain.
Yes, I mentioned it, and you're right. It's probably is quite responsible, really, to put that kind of stuff on. But I do wonder if it's got something to do with the political climate and everything, and this talk of gateway products for kids. If it's got over 18s printed on it, I suppose, showing a bit of a social conscience or something, I'm not sure.
That's quite nice.
Well, I found on the first fill with mine, I was not particularly stricken with it. But that was, I was sort of taking it out of the box whilst I had the Genesis and the Evic in my hand, which, that thing really sort of kicks out flavour. So,
yeah, well, I haven't. I've been using the EVOD.
And would you say it's comparable?
Yes.
Yeah, because I think they're comparable, but it took the second fill on mine before I really started getting much flavour through. But that's going to depend on the juice and stuff, I guess. It's quite a gloopy juice I use. The wick needs to be proper saturated.
Well, I mean, if the juice is muted on the first fill, all I can imagine is it's going to get better, with the second fill. And
it did, and I've just filled it again as we were talking, so I think that's now I filled it just after I did the VT. In fact, the eagle-eyed will notice that I had to do a post-edit, and I actually filmed it again after I did the closing piece to camera. But then you see me fill it before that, because that's the magic of video. So I've just filled it again. That's the 5th fill I've done on it, and now it's going like a steam train. The vapour production's great.
I love the look of it. I have to say it. It looks really elegant.
You see, a lot of people will probably think, as indeed I would myself a while ago, thought that cap is a bit unnecessary, but I can tell you, I will use that. That is extremely useful for me, because I literally do. I shove these things in my bag by the side of the seat on the plane, and it's something to grab it by. and I shove them in my pockets all day while I'm at work. So they do get knocked, and let's be honest, that's probably what's cracked the EVOD, and this will offer a bit of protection against that.
Well, I must admit, I will use it because it looks elegant. And do you remember I think it was the Anakin Leo, when that first came out, and it had like the pen style top?
I do, I remember that, yeah.
And I loved that.
I remember you commenting on it at the time, actually. Yeah.
Very much so, because, you know, like you were saying earlier about that Anakin product that I'm going to give to you, the SVD.
SVD, that's it. I couldn't remember the name of it. Thank you.
And I mean, you know what I'm like? I've got to be careful because I get every name wrong. But I didn't even take it out of the box. I looked at it and I thought, oh, nah. Because I don't want something that looks really macho. I don't like it. I like something to look elegant or stuck with duct tape, like the one I use most of the time.
Well, what occurred to me with that cap is when you put the cap on and you cover up the plastic mouthpiece, you know, you look at some of the Genesis atomizers and mods that are out there, and that's the kind of the look that you strive for, isn't it? That sort of same diameter all the way up, steel. But then again, that screen print sort of lets it down a little bit on the aesthetics. If that was plain silver, I'd like it more, I'll be honest. But as I said in the VT, it's not going to stop me using it. So, because there's some etching on the cartomizer itself.
Well, I see the lines.
There's the CE kite mark again, and the
oh right.
Don't chuck it in the bin logo. There's probably a proper name for that.
Well,
and then
my eyes aren't good enough. I can't see that.
And then it says ROK Legend. So, yeah, I mean, I like it. I think it's a good kit. They seem to be doing it at an introductory price of £50 as well, which probably makes it pretty comparable to other kits like it. The big batteries are 900 milliamp hour, and this is a 650 apparently.
Right, well, that's a 900 I've got on there now. And that's quite nice. However, one little thing I'm noticing, maybe I haven't got the cap fully tightened, because I seem to be getting a little bit of vapour trapping inside there.
Yeah, it does. It fogs up a bit, but I've not had any issues with anything in my gob or leaks or anything yet.
But it's early days.
Indeed, it is early days.
You know, you can't sort of make a decision on what it is or how good it is when you just try it out, you know?
Agreed. I used it sort of all day yesterday. I was out and about, and we were at the cinema last night, and I used it then, and worked really well. I was really pleased with it, actually.
Well, I'm going to take it along the knees and see how it does there.
That's the way to do it. Give it a proper testing.
Yeah, because Davey there has made me feel guilty.
Has he? Why?
You know? Well, were you saying that you can't be bothered to pick up the ego, etc.? I thought, yeah, I feel rotten now. I'm going to have to do something. Can I just interrupt myself? Yeah. Very Boring asked me to make a little announcement, which I'm likely to forget if I don't do it straight away. He said, before the end of the show, can we have an announcement for everybody to get over to the BMJ.com, that's the British Medical Journal, I believe, and scroll down looking at the left-hand side and vote on their poll about e-cigs.
I saw that one earlier. I meant to mention it myself, so thank you for the reminder, VB.
It's good.
It's the BMJ homepage, and if you scroll down, they've got one of those little embedded survey things, and it's and the question is, should electronic cigarettes be as freely available as tobacco? And it's yes or no. And somebody posted it on UKV earlier, and everybody was voting no, because presumably it was doctors and stuff. And now, like, it's gone heavily the other way since it hit the forums. A link. Let me see if I can find it for you.
There you go. I've put it in.
Oh, there you go. It's just bmj.com, isn't it? I think
that's right.
Yeah.
Nice easy one for me to remember.
And if you log on in different browsers each time, you can probably vote as many times as you want. Just thought I'd mention that. So okay, that's cool. Now you mentioned then the knees up, and it's 6 sleeps, 6 more sleeps.
Is it?
Yeah. Shall I play the trailer?
Oh, go on.
This could be like the last chance. I'll play it now. Here it comes. Back in the room. Hello.
I can't wait for this.
It's going to be fun, isn't it? Just to confirm there, somebody questioning the address there. It is definitely bmj.com. If you can't get it from Germany, I'm afraid I can't help you. So I can't imagine why they'd restrict it, but
There may be too many people using it at once.
there might well be. When I somebody posted it on UKV earlier, I think it was like it was something like 80% no or something. The result of that little poll, and somebody's just typed in chat there that it's 75% yes now. So that that's the kind of swing on the swingometer that would have Newsnight getting very excited. That one, wouldn't it?
Brilliant stuff. Brilliant stuff.
Great
Well
stuff.
done, everybody.
Oh, there you go. Thomas says it works for him in Germany, so there you go. Yeah, it's bmj.com, and the survey is about halfway down the page, sort of in the main block. It's all pretty well hidden, actually. 76.85 now, there you go.
And I haven't been to vote yet. So there you go.
So, yeah, I doubt it'll affect much policy, but, I voted 3 times. But it's a bit of a laugh, isn't it? Yeah. So we've avoided politics quite sort of largely tonight, and that's good. I think that's a good thing. Just every once in a while, we've got plenty of time to cover the politics. And we must be running pretty much towards the end, I would think.
We are, Dave. You've got just seconds over a minute now.
Okay.
That's all.
And my closing titles, they last for about 50 seconds.
So all we have to say now is good night, everybody.
I think
thank you very much for joining us.
I think that's the thing to do, isn't it? So, yeah, thanks very much for joining us, everybody. I hope you enjoyed it. It was great to see Dave Malik on the show for the first time. Looking forward to seeing more of him. Hope you enjoyed it. See you again. And thanks for watching. Bye.
Cloud9 Vaping, sponsors of Dave's Tap Box.